Hi friends, welcome back to Faith and Arrow Homestead. My name is Jaylee and today we're going to talk about garden mulching. So I mulch my garden using grass clippings and I want to show you exactly how I do that. And I actually have a before and after comparison because I have a bed that we're going to mulch together today, and then I have a bed that I already mulched a couple of weeks ago, and I can show you how it looks. Now I'm over here by the chicken coop because I wanted to first show you how we deal with the grass clippings. I do not, Tom mows the lawn, my husband Tom, and then I don't just put the fresh grass clippings right on the garden. I actually have this space here in between my neighbor's fence and our chicken coop, and I ask Tom to put the grass clippings in here. And then I let the chickens kind of like free range, I guess. I let them out in this area and I let them kind of scratch through it, eat any weed seeds, any sprouts that may be in there. And then after a couple of weeks, I will then use those grass clippings in my garden. I don't use fresh. I wait until it's been rained on. I wait till it's been baked in the sun, wait until the chickens have scratched through it, and then I use it. So I want to show you really quickly. There's not much in here because I already shoveled it out this morning, but you can see some of those grass clippings. My rooster here is standing right in them, and they'll scratch through those and get them all nice and ready to be used in the garden. I mulched using... I need a farm, you guys. I need 50 acres where my house is smack in the middle of it and there are no neighbors anywhere in sight. That's what I need. The dog doesn't bark if he can't see me, so I'm crouched down. I can't present this the way I wanted to, but I've got to get this done this morning. So to my right, I have the garden bed that I have already mulched with my grass clippings. I did this weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, I want to say. And I want to get in really close here. You can see, here's an example here, and I did not do any weeding this morning. I literally just woke up and came outside. Here's a weed, a little bit of grass right here. Just pull it right out. Now having the mulch in here not only helps with weed pressure, but it also helps keep the soil moist. So when I do find a weed, because I do still come out here and weed, this is not going to completely eliminate weeding. It's definitely not going to do that. But when I come out here and I find one, it comes right out. It's super easy to pull out because the grass clippings keep the soil so moist. And that's good also just for your plants. I mean, that's good to keep soil, to keep the moisture in the soil. So this bed here is just gorgeous. I am so happy with how this has been going. This is new to me. I actually learned about this from Jill Winger's Instagram page. She talked about how she uses grass clippings, and I, at the time of seeing it, was unsure what I was going to do. I did landscaping fabric last year, didn't really love it. I didn't know what I was going to do this year, so I was like, sure, I have grass clippings, who doesn't? So I'll give that a shot. And look at this bed. It's beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Next to this bed, I have this bed. This bed needs to be mulched. So this is my pepper bed. And then over here, this is my zucchini and cucumber bed. I did do a little bit of, well, no, I did a lot of weeding in this bed yesterday. I think it was yesterday morning before work. And there's still some weeds, but I went through and pulled it. I mean, you couldn't even see the cucumber or zucchini plants when I weeded this, so it's doing a lot better. But I definitely want to go ahead and get this mulched so I can stop having to constantly weed it. It's really annoying. Now, the actual process of mulching is so easy. It really only takes a little bit of time too. I've got my wheelbarrow here with my grass clippings, and I do like to use a glove for this just because I don't like getting stuff on my hands. But, you know, you don't have to. And I take a clump and I just start setting it down. And because I wait to use my grass clippings until they've been sitting for a couple of weeks, they've kind of formed a bit of a mass. They're not really loose anymore, and so it's super, super easy to take just clumps and spread it around. Here I've got a cucumber plant right here, so I'm going to mulch around it. But I am going to get in nice and close. Any weeds that are on the kind of larger side, I'll pull as I go. just because I feel like they're probably a little bit better established and harder to kill. But all the little stuff, I just cover it right up with the mulch as I go, and I can confidently say from experience, because of this bed, that it kills it off. Anything that's really big and well established will end up coming through. Again, it's a lot easier to pull it out because of the mulch, but yeah, all that little annoying stuff, as long as it's fully covered by the mulch, it really does end up getting killed off. And we're done. So here's the older one. Look at the color. I love the color. It's so pretty. It went from like that greenish light brown of dead grass to getting this like really dark color, and I just imagine that as it continues to break down and turn into soil, it'll get even darker and even prettier. And so over here, here's the new one, all mulched in. It did not take me long at all. It took me a little longer because I didn't get enough the first trip, so I had to go back and get a little bit more. So that took a few minutes. But the next thing I like to do after getting all of the mulch placed is to water it in. Look at this gigantic worm that came out to play. It's huge. It scared me when I first saw it. I was like, oh my god. Literally, guys, like this worm is so big. That's fun. Like seeing that in the garden, right? Now, the reason I like to water the bed in is because it just helps really get the grass clippings matted down in place, and it helps because the grass clippings over here on the pepper bed have not budged. They have not moved a muscle. They are exactly where I placed them, and that's what I want. I don't want them to get shuffled around or moved around. I want them to kind of black out the soil below, and that will really help kill off the weeds that lie beneath. And so it adds a little bit of weight and just helps it to really stay in place. So that's why I do that. And you know, it gets watered every day that I come out here and water, or if it rains, it's just helping that to stay in place and break down. Now, here's why I like using grass clippings, because last year I did landscape fabric. I had black landscape fabric. I stapled over all of the beds and I cut holes. I didn't know that you could torch them. I cut them with scissors, each one. It was awful. And I liked that because it eliminated weed pressure. There were no weeds. I did 0 weeding last year, none. And so if you're somebody who's short on time, or if you're disabled in some way and weeding is difficult for you, then I would suggest going that route. But I have time and I'm able to weed, and I just felt, I don't know, it took a little bit of the joy out of it, because I do like coming out and weeding a little bit. It's relaxing, it's cathartic. But my biggest reason why I'm doing grass clippings instead of the landscape fabric is because the grass clippings are a form of soil amendment. So as these grass clippings break down, they are going to feed the soil. They're going to add nutrients back into the soil, whereas the landscaping fabric did not do that for me. And I found in the fall and in the springtime, I needed to take it off to be able to amend my beds, to add what I needed to add to the beds. And it just felt too artificial to me. I love how natural the grass clippings, especially the pepper bed here that has started to break down, this color, it looks like a happy, well cared for garden bed. Very organic, very natural. So I guess what I'm saying is I like it for 3 reasons. The aesthetic, I like how it looks. I like that it reduces the weed pressure, and I like that it's feeding the garden. It's serving 3 purposes for me. And I am using a product that a byproduct of my property. The grass clippings are going to happen whether I use them or not, and they can either, Tom wasn't using the bagger previously, so the grass clippings were just strewn about the lawn, and he started, when I asked him to do this for me, he started using the bagger and would just dump the bags of grass clippings over by the chicken coop where I showed you. And so it cleans up the lawn, it gives the waste product, the clippings, a use on the property. So to me, there's just enough pros, enough advantages that I think it's worth using the grass clippings in this way to mulch the garden and to reduce weed pressure. I want to reiterate one last time that we are reducing weed pressure. We are not eliminating weed pressure. as I'm sitting here looking in my pepper bed, I can see even a few more weeds that I should pick. But you should have seen this, the zucchini cucumber bed yesterday. I should have taken a picture to show you guys. I mean, you couldn't see the zucchini plants. It was a jungle of weeds. And I came out here and I just threw them on the ground next to me. I spent hours out here weeding this bed, and for this pepper bed, if I were to come in here and weed this, mind you, I haven't fooled with this bed in almost 3 weeks. It would take me not even 5 minutes to come out here and pull all the weeds that I'm seeing. Not even 5 minutes. So it reduces the weed pressure greatly. But it does not eliminate it completely. And I just want to make sure that you understand that. You're not going to eliminate weed pressure this way. If you want to eliminate it, you really should go the landscaping fabric route. But anyway, you guys, that's all. I just wanted to show you what I was doing to mulch my beds, because we're definitely in the season where weed pressure is high, and you're spending a lot of time out here weeding. And as we transition out of summer into fall, this is going to age very well with that transition, because I'm already covering the soil. I'm sure you've heard it said many times, Mother Nature does not like to be naked. She wants to be covered, and if you don't cover her, she will cover herself with weeds. And so I love this mulching idea using the grass clippings, because I can move gracefully into the fall time without a bunch of fuss. So anyway, if you have any questions, or if there's anything about this that I'm missing that you want to weigh in on, please leave those comments down below for me. But I can't wait to see you in my next video. Have faith and keep moving forward. Bye, friends.